And even what may seem like little things but end up being huge things are just the way we show up as a parent or as a friend, like checking in on our friends and like embodying this energy and this way of living for our children and just for those around us, like the people that you see on a day-to-day basis. You influence them whether you realize it or not. So just going back to that original question of what do you want to see more of in the future? Like, what does your ideal future reality look like? And how can you embody that energy now as a parent, as a friend, as a human, as a mother, as a father, as a teacher, as just a person living on this planet right now? Welcome to Alignment Adventures. This is a podcast where we explore what it means to live a fulfilling, aligning, and present life. I'm your host, Lindsay Tanner, and I am so grateful that you are here. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Alignment Adventures. I hope you all are doing as well as you can in this time and space, and hopefully this episode can provide you with some peace or some alignment in times that always seem chaotic and not peaceful, and the opposite of what we talk about and promote here. It's interesting. I was really tuning in to what I wanted to talk about this week. As you know, I've been covering topics along the spooky season theme, and nothing just like felt right internally, like with my internal guidance, with my intuition. Nothing just seemed to click until I thought about, the topics that have been very heavy in our world related to what is happening over in Israel. You may or may not have been tuning into the news. It's a lot. It is extremely heavy, extremely appalling. And we see a lot of that nowadays, right? So I think some people are just almost maxed out when it comes to those things, which I understand to a degree. And I think some people are just at a loss of what to do, or just so horrified and stuck in fear, they have nowhere to go. And I hope that today's podcast episode can provide some peace and direction for you in times like these, because it seems like they're just one after another, after another, after another since like 2020 and even before then, right? Like we have just seen horrific thing after horrific thing after horrific thing. And I always try to tune into my own internal guidance when I observe these events, and I'm like, what aligns with me? What action can I take? And it always comes back to like the things we talk about on here. I do believe some of the biggest external shifts we're going to see in this reality come from within ourselves. Now, something that I've been thinking about recently, because I think a majority of us are just hoping for a better future, hoping for a future that does have more peace and love and less fear and less hate. It's just almost incomprehensible to the mind, like some of the things that happen that come from fear and hate. It's just beyond what we can even comprehend and imagine and like want to see sometimes. But what I've really been thinking about recently is how I want to show up to influence the future that I want to see. Like, what can I do in my day-to-day life? What can I embody to help create that beautiful, peaceful, loving, connected future? Because I know it's possible. And I think we're on our way there. We just keep seeing thing after thing after thing that are bringing this hatred to the surface to be seen, to like wake us up almost. And I hate to use that word because it's used in a negative context, the wokeness. But truly, people are waking up to the power that they have within us. And like I've mentioned so many times on here, we are the creators of this reality. And I do think there are forces that are trying to influence our creative power, because every single one of us has that creative power within us to create this reality. So without going down too many rabbit holes or conspiracy theories, there are obviously powers out there, people out there, groups out there that are trying to like control our perspective and control our awareness, even with just these events themselves. It's to like promote fear, right? And to just do truly horrific things. But the thing that we always have control of is ourselves and like how we show up in this world. And do take time to like process things. And I do want to say I'm sending so much love and compassion to all the people listening that identify with the Jewish faith, or maybe know people in Israel, or I know there were even like earthquakes in Afghanistan that happened. It's just like thing after thing after thing, like so much love and compassion to all the people that have been directly or indirectly affected by these atrocities. And it comes back to like, what can we do? I think sometimes we like underestimate our own power and we just get frozen because we're like, I want to help, but I have no idea how to help. Just take some time to go to a quiet space, go outside, walk, meditate, stretch, whatever it may be, and consider, how do you want to show up to make a better future? What does that future look like to you? Like, if you can imagine the best future possible for our society, what does that look like for you? So consider that first. And then once you have that nailed down, how can you, as the individual, show up with that energy? For me, it is a society and a humanity that has remembered our truth, that we are love at our core, that we are powerful creators at our core, that we are all connected. And we are here to live our most aligned lives. And with that, we benefit everyone around us. Like, when you do live in alignment, you are like connected to the community, you are connected to the collective, and it's all just like mutually benefiting each other. I think we just forget that, and we let that energy of fear and separateness and like, you have to be this side or the other, you have to do this or that, or shame. A lot of shame can come up when we see and witness things like this. Like, tune into your true nature, which is love at your core, like the complete opposite of hate and fear. We are love at our core, and it's not even like the romantic love. It is just like pure awareness love, like a next level. Tune into that energy that is within you always, no matter what. And just ask yourself how you want to show up in this reality, because you are the creator of your reality, and that affects everyone else's reality. And from that space, you may be inspired to take certain actions. And if that's the case, beautiful. Honor those actions. But don't let like the fear of the whole situation just freeze you and feel like you have no power. That is what, quote unquote, they want. And I don't really know who they are. Like, obviously I know the group that did this. I mean, I don't know them, but I know the name of the group. But that's like what these groups want, is they want you to feel powerless. They want you to feel like you have no control over the situation, and that you just need to like conform and bow down to whatever it is that they are demanding, or whatever it is. But that couldn't be farther from the truth. We are all so extremely powerful in the way that we show up in this world, and the things that we can do, and the impact and the influence that we can have. It doesn't even have to be like the big things that we see that are super flashy, right? Like maybe creating a charity or whatever it may be. It's the little things that are going to change the way that our future turns out to be. It is the little things that are going to create the future for our children and our children's children, or even just like your friends' children if you don't have children. That's what's going to shift our reality and shift our future, by just like standing in our power, standing together, loving yourself, loving those around you. And even what may seem like little things but end up being huge things are just the way we show up as a parent or as a friend, like checking in on our friends and like embodying this energy and this way of living for our children and just for those around us, like the people that you see on a day-to-day basis. You influence them whether you realize it or not. So just going back to that original question of what do you want to see more of in the future? Like, what does your ideal future reality look like? And how can you embody that energy now as a parent, as a friend, as a human, as a mother, as a father, as a teacher, as just a person living on this planet right now? Even just like the little things we say on a day-to-day, like there's so much that's rooted in hate and fear. And I've been reading this book. I can't remember what it's called. From Illusion to Enlightenment by Michael Rhodes. It's been really different and very enlightening. I think I might do an episode on what I've learned from that book. But he had an acronym for fear, and it was false evidence appearing real. Now, I'm not saying what is happening over in Israel isn't real, but the fear that is instilled from that situation, and even like other situations that just make you feel fearful, maybe it's going after your goals or whatever it may be, so much of it is an illusion. Like the stories behind it are an illusion, and we perpetuate it, and we just kind of spiral down into this fear when really we can realign and recenter ourselves, step back into our power, embody the energy we want to see in this world, and take action from there. I think a lot of times these things happen to like kind of make us more separate. That's the goal, is to like make us more separate and make us feel like we're against each other, when that's not the case. We're all in this together. Like humanity as a whole is so powerful. And I've been seeing too, this is interesting, a lot of people I follow on Instagram have been doing like group meditations, group prayers. I think that is also really powerful. What a beautiful place to start. And I hate when I see that like people criticize that, like you should be doing more, you should that. A lot of shoulds come out. And it's good to be open and aware to like people's feedback, but I think that's such a beautiful place to start. It's just like banding together in love and connection, and then acting from there. So I hope this episode was useful. I hope this helps bring you peace in times of what seem like chaos, and not to give in to the feeling like you have no impact, and the fear that like what you do doesn't matter, and the freezing, like when you just freeze up because you don't know what to do, you're just so horrified. Reconnect with your power, reconnect with your internal guidance, reconnect with your true nature, which is love and awareness at your core, and go from there. So I'm sending you all so much love from my awareness to yours, all the high vibes. And of course, I will see you in the next episode of Alignment Adventures.